Horizon Johnson Rex, and this is B-17 ball turret gunner. Dangerous jobs in history by the channel Simple History. Yeah, simple history video. I think I did one or two, but didn't do much well in the views. So I don't know. We'll see how this does. Don't forget to like and subscribe so I know which type of videos and which type of channels react to more like this. You know, if you want me to react to more simple history, I guess hit the like button. I guess comment down specific video that you want me to react from this channel. So yeah. Flying a B-17 was a very risky job since they were huge, slow, and therefore easy targets for enemy aircraft and anti-aircraft defenses, who always marked them as primary targets. Out of the entire crew, the most endangered were the machine gunners housed in overexposed emplacements. One emplacement in particular carried the greatest risk, the position of the underbelly ball turret gunner. Okay, I don't know which B-17 is, but I guess it's a bomber. So yeah, let's watch this one.
Become a B-17 crewman as you navigate the skies in this battle-ready hoodie from Simple History. Support the show by clicking the link in the description to grab our latest design, limited time only. B-17 ball turret gunner. Dangerous jobs in history.
Whoa, so this is where the Star Wars thing comes from, right? One of the latest Star Wars movies that had this thing. I don't know if the older one had it or not, I don't remember it. But one of the latest Star Wars movies, right? Not latest series of Star Wars movie of this past decade. In that, I guess, there was one fighting where there was this ball thing that was constantly moving. I guess they take it from this, huh? Look at that, I never thought this could be real, but it's a real thing.
World War II. The B-17 Flying Fortress was one of the most formidable aircraft of World War II. This mighty strategic bomber largely contributed to crippling the German war industry by delivering more than a third of all—
Oh, wait a minute. I think I'm remembering something like there was a giant bomber plane of World War II which had a big issue. Well, they landed, the propellers used to hit the ground. Is this that plane? I mean, it could be, right? How many bombers were there in World War II? So it could be that.
All bombs dropped on German soil during the war. Besides its great bombing potential, the B-17 was equipped with so many defensive machine gun emplacements that it really looked like a flying fortress.
It is a fortress. Look at that.
However, the fortress did not provide enough protection for the crew inside. Flying a B-17 was a very risky job since they were huge, slow, and therefore easy targets for enemy aircraft and anti-aircraft defenses, who always marked them as primary targets. If the plane was hit, there was little chance that all of the 10-man crew could bail out. This was primarily the reason for the high casualty rates of bomber crews during the war. Out of the entire crew—
Whoa, so every time the B-17 bomber is shot down, obviously some would escape, but not all of them. Is that it? Holy shit, imagine that. Imagine going in that B-17 bomber as you're basically your mission objective, whatever. You are stationed there basically. So when you realize, okay, you're going to be part of B-17 bomber, but then you realize, wait a minute, there's a high chance that this could go down, right? It's a World War II, it's a war. I mean, there's a high probability that the plane will be shot down and I will die because of it. Knowing that and going to the war, it's just, I can't process that, right? I mean, I can try to imagine that, but I cannot fully imagine how it would feel.
The most endangered were the machine gunners housed in overexposed emplacements. One emplacement in particular carried the greatest risk, the position of the underbelly ball turret gunner. Ball turrets were originally not part of the B-17's defense system. In the beginning, the bottom of the bomber was protected by a remote-controlled version, which was quite a complex and troublesome system. Only from the 113th aircraft onwards did Boeing engineers begin to install the much better Sperry ball turret. The Sperry ball turret was a remarkably good, practical design. It was a spherical chamber made of aluminum and plexiglass attached to the fuselage at the aft section. Manned and electrically operated, the turret moved very quickly. It could revolve a full 360 degrees and pitch down to a 90.
I'm not gonna lie, man, look at that. Boeing developed a plane which had this ball that was electrically moving by levers, right? So, this is during the World War II time. I mean, if somebody literally just, pulled some kind of a lever mechanically to move it with their strength or something, it kind of makes sense. But electronically, that's pretty damn advanced at the time, man.
Degree angle. With such features, it covered the entire area below the aircraft. It was attached to the fuselage by a shaft with a hydraulic pump that allowed it to retract into the aircraft. This was done in case of an emergency landing without using the landing gear.
Oh, I didn't even thought of that. Yeah, what if the plane suddenly crashes down? I mean, the guy in the ball is fucked if it doesn't retract.
The B-17's ball turret was armed with two 50 caliber AN M2 Browning machine guns firing 700 to 850 rounds per minute. Each machine gun was belt-fed from two ammo boxes placed inside the fuselage. The turret may have been well designed, but was claustrophobic at only 4 feet in diameter. Inside there were two hand
I don't have claustrophobic issues, right? But seeing that causes me panic. Like, you know, stuck in this plane, right? Fighting the enemy and that close, I can't even move. Oh, that would become bad really fast.
The turret may have been well designed, but was claustrophobic at only 4 feet in diameter. Inside there were two hand controls for turning and pitching, both with electrical firing buttons. There was also a seat, a computing K4 gun sight, and a set of ancillary equipment. The dimensions of the turret required a gunner of very small stature. Even then, the only way to fit inside was to curl up in the fetal position. The gunner was in such a position that he had to aim through the sight between his knees. In this highly uncomfortable position, the gunner used both his hands to control the movement of the turret and feet to adjust the sight. Spending hours in this position at very low temperatures was difficult as it was, on top of the task of swiveling around in combat and focusing on shooting enemy aircraft. It took a lot of guts to enter the turret and face the enemy in the skies. Entering the weapons system was conducted from inside the aircraft. The entry hatch was positioned opposite the machine guns. In order to open it, the gunner had to manually turn the turret until the hatch was positioned inside the aircraft. It was never manned during takeoffs and landings for safety reasons, only when the aircraft was in the air. Even then, the gunner had to be careful. Entering the turret,
Damn, I'm just thinking, what if the guy had cramp inside? Holy shit. I mean, he could position the turret like that and try to get out from the hatch if that happens. But still, this is really effed up.
consisted of several predefined steps, and if the gunner failed to follow these orders, it led to injuries and even fatal accidents. Outside the turret, the gunner was completely exposed to enemy fire, especially since most of the fire was coming from below. Fighter planes attacking a bomber preferred doing it from below, as this section of the bomber was the least protected. Additionally, anti-aircraft fire was also coming from below. The shell of the turret was
anti-aircraft fire would come from below, right? Holy shit, this guy would be so vulnerable. I mean, why didn't they put this on the top side? Was there some engineering issue from that?
made of aluminum and plexiglass, and provided absolutely no protection against machine gun ammunition and anti-aircraft grenade shrapnel.
Well, I guess, you know, they made this so they could attack not just aircraft but ground attacks too. That's why, I guess.
Combat, if the turret mechanism was hit, it would be disabled, unable to turn or be retracted. This meant that the gunner would be trapped inside. In cases when the plane was forced into a belly landing, the ball turret suffered complete destruction, leaving the gunner absolutely no chance of surviving. Even during standard landings, it was risky for gunners to stay inside the turret. Of the entire crew, the ball turret gunner was the only one that didn't carry a parachute on his body or by his side. This was simply because there was no room for it. The gunner's parachute was held right beside the entry hatch inside the fuselage. To reach it, the gunner had to leave the turret. For this operation, he needed a substantial amount of time and the help of another crewman, since exiting was as complicated as the entry. Needless to say, casualties among ball turret gunners were high. The risk of their job was portrayed in a poem written by Randall Jarrell, The Death of the Ball Turret Gunner. 6 miles from Earth, loosed from its dream of life.
Yeah, but was this ball gunner necessary, man? I mean, how important was this, man? Isn't this unnecessary risk and endangering life? I don't know.
I woke to back flak and the nightmare fighters. When I died, they washed me out of the turret with a hose.
That was heavy. Damn. I didn't know this. I thought, you know, this ball gunner thing would be more of a fictional thing from Star Wars. But look at this shit. This was real in World War II, nonetheless. B-17 ball turret. Alright, people. That was from the channel Simple History. If you want to react to more videos from this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down if you want to react to any specific video from this channel. And yeah, I guess I'll see you next time.